welcome to the channel. I'm Gary, thanks for joining me. If you're a regular viewer, then welcome back. If you're new, then I'm glad you found us and I hope you enjoy it. If you do, then please subscribe to the channel, it helps me grow it. Today we're looking at a great Smith song. It's a fun song, it's a fun guitar part to play. Some girls are bigger than others. I'm going to show you, it's like a loop really, the main guitar part's a loop as it goes through, and I'm also going to show you that melodic part at the end, which is quite good fun to play. I think on the studio it could have been double tracked, but I've seen Johnny play it as one part using clever use of sort of chords and arpeggios. So it's all good stuff. We're going to zoom in as always, get close up and we'll break it down. Alright, there we go, we're in up close now, hopefully you can see everything. So I'm in standard tuning for this one. No capo for this one. A lot of Smith songs do go up a couple of steps or one full tone, either tuning up or with a capo, but not this one. So it's nice because the strings are just open, they can ring out. I'm on the clean channel through the amplifier with a touch of reverb, chorus, a little bit of delay, a little bit of tremolo and a tiny bit of compression. So we want this nice, clean, jangling tone. Okay, so I'm going to play through the whole guitar part, which goes around in a kind of loop throughout the song. As always, listen to the track for reference, and then we'll break it down into 4 or 5 bite-sized chunks. Here goes. And then it repeats, goes round again. So let's have a closer look at those parts. So it starts with 2 open bar chords. It's a bit like a C sharp minor. That's the actual chord of the song, barring the A minor shape there at the 4th fret. But I'm going to keep it nice and open, so I'm just holding down A4 and D and G at the 6th fret there, with the open B and E strings strumming from the 6th string, from this A, from the 5th string, sorry. You get this nice open sounding chord. So it's a couple of downstrokes and then picking back upwards on the first 2 strings. And then slide it down to the B position there at the 2nd fret. And again, just do the same thing. Okay, the second part, we just slide up. I'm just holding down the G and B strings there, 4th fret, and sliding up to the 6th fret, but I'm also playing the open B string to fill the sound out. Then with my first finger I'm holding B4 and an open 1st string. And then just picking those strings back down from the 1st string. So altogether, so far from the top we've got this. Again. From there we slide down to D4 and B4. So it looks like I'm playing a full chord there, but I'm only holding down those 2 notes with my 3rd finger on the little finger. You need to be careful not to bring the G string into play. Just try and mute it if you can, or just try and avoid striking it. So we get this. So I'm hitting the D string, the B, which I'm holding as part of that position, open 1st string, and then the B string again. So far, from the top, we've got this. we're going to do is slide up from D4 up to D6. So I'm just striking once, and I'm doing that, I'm holding that note down with my third finger. It's important because you need to keep your first two fingers free for the next bit. So with my first finger I'm forming a bar there across the first four strings at the fourth fret. Then with my second finger I'm going to hold down B5 and then take it off again. Okay. Just raking down those strings at that bar there. I'm not holding down. I've not got my second finger in position now. So I'm just picking those individual strings. G, D, B, and then the first string. Again, coming back down. So I'm just playing it really slowly. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. That's probably the most difficult part of this actually. And then it puts us in position to come into this C sharp minor 7 shape for the next part. So raking down the strings from the root, and then picking back upwards on the first string. B string there, which I'm holding as part of that chord, picking upwards on it, just pulling off and catching the G. So this is a triad position, it's like an A. So a quick downstroke from the D string. Just really playing those three strings. And then slide that up to this B position. And then just catch the G at the end. Just a tip for that section, you need to play it quite percussively, so see, I'm being quite sort of economical with the notes, and I don't want all the other strings ringing out. I'm just trying to get this melody coming through. Get this, okay? Between those things, just with the fleshy part of my hand there. Maybe it's just my style of playing. I notice when Johnny plays, he doesn't always. I tend to anchor my hand here on the body. He doesn't. He tends to sort of have more of a sort of flowing movement in his strumming hand. So when we've reached this part with this A, it just goes round again. You only play that once. And then you straight back in, going round again. So as always, just listen to the record for that. There is a section later on where we get this. It's about 3 bars of it, then just resolves on an E chord, E major. Round for the next verse. Alright, so I said I'd show you this guitar melody that appears towards the fade out and towards the end of the track. It sounds a bit like this, so you know the bit I'm talking about. Going on over the chords. It could have been done in the studio like that as a separate guitar part, but I've seen Johnny play it by just cleverly using arpeggios with some of the chord positions we've just looked at. So I'll show you what he does and then we'll break it down. But we're really using these chords we've just been looking at. This C sharp minor 7 and this A up to B triads there. So I'll play through it and then I'll show you what I think's happening. So we're just strumming this chord and then just picking backwards with the first 2 strings. You could put your pinky down on E7 as well, but you don't need to actually, because you get the essence of this melody by, it's really clever how Johnny does this. It's piecing together different chords, and when you combine them you get that melody coming in almost like magic over the top of it. He does something similar, different chords, but something similar in Barbarism. I remember looking at that and trying to work out what was going on, and it was just, I was looking for an individual picked note part, and it was actually just a combination of some chords together. So we've got our chord, we go to our triad, then I'm going to take my first finger off and pick upwards, move it to the first string, 4th fret, bit of a stretch, and then move that straight up to our B position, just picking up in an arpeggio style on these triads. And then a little bar there, I'm just barring with my first finger over the first 2 strings, and then combined with when we go back to the chord, that creates our melody. Hard to explain. It's quite quick. But if you practice it, you get it nice and fluent, I promise. So those are the guitar parts for Some Girls Are Bigger Than Others. Great song, great fun to play. I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, let me know what you think. Enjoy your guitar playing, guys. Until next time, and I'll see you soon.